Acts chapter 12. Now at about that time Herod the king put his hands to it to maltreat some of those from the ecclesia. And he put to death Jacob, the brother of John, by a sword. And on seeing it was pleasing to the Judahites, he proceeded further to arrest Peter as well. Now they were the days of unleavened bread, whom, as well as seizing, he put into custody. And he assigned 4 sets of soldiers to guard him, intending to bring him out to the people after the Passover. Then Peter was kept securely in the jail, intense prayer to God, though, being made on his behalf by the ecclesia. But when Herod was about to bring him out, Peter in that night was sleeping between 2 soldiers, shackled with 2 chains, and guards in front of the door were keeping the jail. And then the angel of the Lord stood over him, and a light shone in the cell. And he prodded Peter's side, and raised him up, saying, "Rise up quickly." And his chains fell from his hands. And the angel said to him, "Dress yourself, and tie your sandals on." And he did that. Then he said to him, "Wrap your garment round, and follow me." And as he was going out, he was following him. And he did not know that what was happening through the angel was real, but he was thinking he was seeing a vision. Now after they passed the first and second guard posts, they came to the iron gate that leads into the town, and that opened for them automatically. And they exited and passed on through one street, and the angel immediately departed from him. And Peter, on coming to himself, said, "Now I know for sure that the Lord sent his angel, and he delivered me out of the hand of Herod, and all the eager anticipation of the people of the Judahites." And on his realizing, he came to the house of Maria, the mother of John, surnamed Mark, where a considerable number were gathered together and praying. And when Peter knocked on the door of the porch, a servant girl, Rhoda by name, came to answer, and recognizing the voice of Peter, out of gladness she did not open the porch, and she ran in and reported Peter to be standing in front of the porch. But they said to her, "You're raving mad." But she kept strongly asserting that it was so. Then they said, "It's his messenger." But Peter continued knocking, and on their opening the door, they saw him and were astounded. But signaling to them with a hand to hold their peace, he related to them how the Lord brought him out of the jail. And he said, "Report these things to Jacob and the brothers." And he departed, and went away to another place. And when day broke, there was no small disturbance among the soldiers over what, as a result, had become of Peter. And when Herod searched up and down for him, and did not find him, and he had made examinations of the guards, he ordered them to be led away. And he went down from Judea into Caesarea, and he spent time there. And Herod was highly displeased with the Tyrians and Sidonians, but they presented themselves before him of one mind, and having won over Blastus, who was in charge of the king's bedroom, they were asking for peace, because their country was nourished from the royal supply. And on an appointed day, Herod dressed in royal clothing, and took his seat on the throne, and he was making an oration to them. And the people were calling out, "A voice of a God, and not of a man." And immediately the angel of the Lord struck him, because he did not give the preeminence to God, and he was chewed by worms and expired. And the word of God increased and multiplied, and Barnabas and Saul returned to Jerusalem, and fulfilled the work, also taking along John, surnamed Mark.